Today's my first full day as a diamond shopper on Instacart, so I'm gonna see how my day compares to how it's been going previously. So yesterday, I just got diamond cart about halfway throughout the day, and I didn't spend much time really sitting at stores, so I don't really count yesterday. Today is my first full day actually being a diamond shopper, and it's Saturday, so I'm really excited. And I actually drove to the Costco drop, which I normally don't ever chase after Costco orders, but now that I have diamond, I'm gonna actually try to get some. So I was there around 9:35, but I did make a mistake because the Costco, at least by me, opens at 9:30 instead of 10 on Saturdays. So I probably missed it. I was probably there around 9:40 by the time I was actually at the Costco parking lot. So I probably missed the drop. I did see a couple Costco orders come in, so there was volume still, but they were all like $25 to $35. And then I was literally waiting there for 2 minutes and I got this fries order, and I'm just gonna do it. And it's only probably like 6 minutes away from the Costco, and it's a lot of units, like more than I would like for the pay, but because it's only 60 items, I think I'll still be able to get it done fast. Looked through the shopping list and there's really nothing offensive on there. There's 1 pack of water, 24 pack, and then there's 2 things of Gatorade, 2 cases of sparkling water, and 2 gallons of milk. So that's the worst heavy items, which really isn't bad. And it is 1 large order that is the majority of the tip, or might even be all of the tip. And then the other 2 orders are really small. But that does actually make the shopping a lot easier because I can just throw everything in the large cart area and not have to use a basket to separate things. And it actually makes the shopping easier, at least to me, when there's 1 really big order and then 1 or 2 small orders, because I just put those on the bottom of the cart and in the top. Order B is the large order. I think it's like 50 items and 70 units, something like that. That's just all gonna go in the cart, and then the other 2 on the top and underneath. This is also a Fry's that I've only been to like 3 times, so honestly, I don't know it super well. So inevitably, I'm gonna be a little bit slower. I've really been trying to keep my shopping speed down because I do really think it's helped me get bigger batches. I just got diamond cart today, and I've gotten a lot of really nice batches with platinum cart, and I really think it's only because my shopping speed is pretty low. Right now I'm at 47 or 48 seconds, which is still really fast, but the stores by me, I just like have them so down in my mind, I can just zip through super quickly. This store, not the case. I've only been here a few times. So I'm hoping for an hour and a half pace to keep this on. It's not a super long drive. It's like 4 miles for all 3 orders. Keeps me in this nice area where it'll probably be literally a 3-minute drive to the next store that has a hotspot. So we'll see how fast I can get this done, but I'm hoping for an hour and a half. So this is what the cart ended up looking like for the first order. I failed to see this giant bag of water softener when I was scrolling through the items, and I saw that while I was at the store, so that kind of sucked. But overall, still a pretty good order. All right, the car is all loaded up and I'm on the way to the first delivery. This is a triple stack. 5 minutes away right now from the first delivery. It was only a 6-minute drive from the store. Just ignore my seatbelt thing because I have a bunch of crap on my passenger seat. I literally couldn't fit all of the orders in the trunk, so I have the 3rd order sitting up in the front seat next to me. So my arrival time for the first order is 10:58. Got the order at 9:44 after I drop off all of the orders, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit right on the mark an hour and a half, which was my goal for this order. So if I can get this done in an hour and a half, I'm completely happy with that, especially for 90 units, and it keeps my hourly where I wanna be at. So we'll check in after I complete all deliveries. And another reason why I did accept this one, even though it was a lot of units, was a lot of the value in this order was I didn't have to wait around. I got to Costco, I was literally there for 2 minutes, and then I got this order, and I just wasn't willing to kind of wait and see if the pay increased, like if no one wanted it, because it was a lot of units. Or if it did get taken right away, then who knows how long I would be waiting. So I was just more like, let's just get started and not wait around for something better. So I'm actually set to arrive at the 3rd customer at exactly 11:15, which puts me exactly almost on the dot for an hour and a half. So I think that's a great time considering how many units it was. It's still going to take me probably 2 to 3 minutes because it is an apartment, and he said to check in with the front desk. I'm not really sure if that means leave at the front desk or bring up to his apartment. I'm assuming that they will probably have to let me up to his apartment. So that'll add probably a few minutes to the delivery time, making this probably like maximum an hour, 35 minutes. So if you're a shopper, would you have done this order? I'm curious because it was a lot of work. It was 90 units, but for the hourly rate, it still was really good for an hour and a half. So would you have waited for it to maybe go up, or would you have taken it right away as to like not risk losing it or risk waiting around for a better order? This order could have gone up, as in someone didn't take it right away and they increased the pay, but I just kind of wasn't willing to take that chance. So I unfortunately waited for about an hour and 10 minutes before getting another order. And I got another one that's really not the best, but because I was waiting for so long, I just took it. This store I'm a little bit faster at. I can find things really fast. So this one's pretty similar to the other one, actually. A little bit less items, but it's also less pay. And it's like 7 miles too. It's really not the best order, but I was waiting too long. I'm just gonna take it. We'll see how long I can get it done, or how long it takes me to get done. I'm guessing kind of like the last one, about an hour and a half. So this one is a little bit trickier too, because the orders are kind of split more evenly in size. There's 2 orders that are about the same size, which, like I said before, that is harder for me because I think it's easier when there's one big order that just throws in the cart and then everything else goes either on top or below. This one I'm gonna have to see how I want to divide them up in the cart so it makes sense, but hoping for an hour and a half on this one as well, and we'll just try to knock it out as quick as we can. So this is what the kind of disaster cart looked like with this order. You can see the basket hidden under there. It was hard to separate these 2 orders because they were both the same size. Okay, so we're on the way to the first customer. For how many items that was, that order was actually pretty easy. It was easier than the last one. So right now I'm quoted to arrive at the first customer at 1:36, and I got the order at 12:25. So a little over an hour to get to the first customer. So just like the last one, almost positive this will be an hour and a half, which again, I wish the pay was a little bit higher for an hour and a half delivery, but at least the order was easy. There wasn't anything heavy, and there was a lot of multiple items, and the cart really was nothing crazy either. All of the orders were somewhat similar in size, which was really the only thing that was kind of hard to keep them separated. But today I'm really hoping for one amazing order, like something in the 70 or 80 realm would be awesome to like bump my average up. It is Saturday, so we'll see what happens after I drop off this last order. That one ended up taking an hour and 34 minutes, which I'm pretty happy with. Again, I kind of knew it wasn't the best order when I took it, but I was waiting for so long that I just decided to do it. And I was only 6 minutes away from Fry's that I was just at, so I ended up just going back there. Back to Fry's, I stopped and got lunch. I've been really good about packing my lunch all week, so I did get a fancy lunch out. I did get kava. This is one of my absolute favorite lunches, and this is my order, in case you're curious. And I usually get this. Sometimes I'll switch a few things up, but I usually get almost the same thing every time, and it is literally one of the best lunches ever if you've never had it. Okay, a lot has happened in like the past 25 minutes. I was about to start eating my kava, and I was sitting at Fry's, and then I got a good DoorDash order. I'm like, I have to take this because it was such good pay for like 5 items. And then while I was walking into Fry's, I got an add-on. So I had a $41 stack at Fry's. It was a great order. And then I like halfway done when I was shopping with it, I got a $60 Instacart order. So I kind of had to think really quickly what to do. So what I did was I just canceled the order that was going the furthest away on DoorDash, that was going like out of the way of the Instacart order that I just got. So I kept my 2 orders that were really close. Luckily, the only reason I was even able to do it is because the 2 orders were really close to the store, so I knew it would be fast enough. So I just took the hit on canceling 1 order that was going further away. I completed the 2. Those drop-offs are done, and now I am on the way to Safeway to pick up this Instacart order. This is a great one. It's a lot less units than the other $60 one I did, which I'm really excited about. It does have heavy pay though, and I need to scroll through the item list and see how bad it is. Also a little high on the mileage, but it's going in a good area. There's a bunch of stores that are right close to the furthest away drop-off, so that makes the distance a lot more worth it. I'm now 6 minutes away from Safeway, and I'll see when I get the warning of when I have to start shopping or else my order will be canceled. I'm gonna eat my kava. I also didn't have time to eat any of my lunch, so I'm gonna eat my kava in the parking lot, and hopefully I'll have enough time to at least eat like half of it before I get they give you a warning. If you don't start shopping soon enough, then your batch will get auto canceled, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna eat some of my food and then we'll start this order. So many things have happened since we last talked, but I finished shopping that Instacart order, dropped off the first order. Now I'm on the way to the second order. By the time I got to the store, it was like 3:17. I had till 3:22 to start shopping or my batch was going to be canceled. So I tried to open my kava and like eat a little bit of my food. And when I opened it, it was the wrong order. So like my day was going well with the batches, but apparently not with lunch. I didn't eat it and it was like nothing that I wanted. And I know someone got my food instead because she obviously switched the caps. Like I showed you the lid and that was my order. So she put the lid on the wrong bowl. And because what I get is vegetarian, I just know someone got my bowl and was like, yeah, this is f***ing terrible. Because you know they probably didn't eat it either. When you eat meat and then you get a vegetarian bowl. So yeah, her day's probably not going that well either. I literally ate a couple bites of it and tried to like eat what I would like just because I was like raging starving. So I ate a couple bites of it and I was going to take it back to the store because I wasn't that far and ask them to remake it because I still wanted to eat lunch. But I'm like, I don't have time. I have to obviously go shop this batch. And then by the time I'm done with it, the drop-off is probably at least 10 minutes away from the kava that I went to. So I'm like, it's just not gonna happen. I tried to call the store to at least get it refunded because I'm not gonna eat it. And when you try to call the store, it just goes to an automated message. So, and basically tells you if you have a question about a previous order to like go online. So I just hung up. I'm like, I don't have time for any of this. So I just didn't eat lunch. Luckily, I found a bag of Cheez-Its in my purse that I had in there. So I ate that for lunch. So still really hungry, not doing great on that front, but this order, I started shopping right when it warned me, so at 3:22, and I'm set to arrive at the second drop-off at 4:38, so I'm making pretty good time. I was shopping in the store longer than it takes me normally. Like this order took me longer than it should have to shop. The deli items, which that always really kills your time. I think I might start going to the deli first now and having them cut the meat and then start shopping afterwards because it just takes way too long. Oh, in this case anyway, I only had a couple minutes to start shopping or my batch was going to be canceled anyway. So in this situation, nothing I really could have done about that. This order with the heavy pay also, it had 3 16-pound bags of ice, 2 cases of water, and 2 cases of soda. And I think 4 gallons of iced tea and milk combined. So it was definitely a heavy order, but my cart wasn't overfilling. I just put the water and the soda on the bottom of the cart. It really wasn't a big deal to fit everything in the cart because the order wasn't massive. I think it was like 50, maybe 60 units. I think 60 something units. And also once I got to the store, the customer added a couple items. So I'll put the thing here, but it adjusted the earnings. So this is going to be, I want to say maybe like $4 to $5 more than it was promised. So it's probably going to be like a 64 to 65. So that's good. So I'm still doing great on time, even though I got a little bit caught up at the store with deli items and then just a couple substitutes that I had to like run around the store to grab. Making good time regardless. So the kava situation really sucked because I'm still really hungry and I wanted to have lunch. But as far as orders are going, we're doing pretty well. So we'll see what time it hits when I drop off the third order so we can mark how long it took to do the whole batch. And then hopefully I should get another one really quickly because this is always one of the absolute busiest times where I can usually end my batch and then get another one in like 5 minutes or less. So that one ended up taking an hour and 20 minutes. So I actually made really great time on that one. And I've been waiting now for almost 40 minutes and still haven't gotten another one. I'm probably going to log off soon early so I can have some time later tonight. I am hoping to get one more before I go home, but we will see. I've been sitting in a zone where it says it's hot, but I haven't been getting anything. So I think I'm gonna at least start heading home so I'm closer, and then see if I can get one more that's closer to where I live than I am now. So I'm home now, about to pull into my apartment, and I did see this Target order, but I passed on it, and no one was even taking it. It got boosted like $2 more before someone took it. It was just too many miles, and it was going somewhere like super residential. It's hard to explain, obviously, without like saying things that are local, but it was going really far away from a lot of the restaurants, so I think people didn't want to go that far. I saw a great 51 that I passed on because I want to be able to get home and be able to do things tonight, but that one got taken right away. I couldn't even screenshot it. It was $51, 35 items, and like 50 units and like 5 miles. And then I saw this one that I also would have taken, only because I could have gotten that done in an hour easily. That store I know really well, and because the item count was low, I think the units would have been no problem. And it was a single customer, which a single customer big batch is like the best. If you're a driver and you're used to doing like triple stack orders, you know what I'm talking about. Getting a single customer, especially a big tipper, is just so nice, and it makes the delivery process so much quicker. My totals of what I did today, I think overall I did pretty well, around $200. I can't remember the exact number for the day, which is pretty good. It's not really great, honestly, for a Saturday, but given the amount of hours I worked, it's not too bad. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'll probably be recording that shift also, because Sunday is usually the busiest day of the week for grocery orders. So maybe we'll get some really good stuff tomorrow, and I do plan to work most of the day tomorrow, so we'll have a little bit more time to see what kind of orders will come in. So I'm gonna insert a clip here of what my actual total was for the day with my total and then the hourly, and then we'll get right back at this tomorrow. And if you enjoy these types of videos, you wanna see more of me doing Instacart content, especially now that I have Diamond Cart, I think it's gonna be way better, because theoretically I should be getting better orders. So definitely follow for more, because I'm gonna be doing more Instacart content now that I'm Diamond. If you like videos like this, you should definitely subscribe. I love to talk about side hustles and kind of finance tips. So if that's something you're interested in, then subscribe and stick around. And I will see you tomorrow on Sunday's vlog. So today I actually did not do well for me as far as my hourly. I was happy with my daily total at $220.25. But for working 7.5 hours, I really wish my hourly was higher. I'm normally able to at least hit 33 to 35 an hour, especially for a Saturday. I'm still happy with the daily total. As you can see, I make most of my money on Instacart, and this is usually the case. Ever since I've gotten Instacart, I have made the majority of my money on that platform and switched away from the other platforms. Especially on the weekend, it's common that I'll just make all of my money on Instacart. It is Sunday, and I got out today around 10:30. I just went and sat at one of the stores close to me. It wasn't listed as a hotspot, but I usually drive to this store and at least wait there for a few minutes because I usually get good orders from it. So I did wait there for a few minutes, and then I wasn't getting anything, so I drove just slightly further to another store that I usually get good orders for. And when there's no like hot spots around me, that's usually what I do, is just wait at one of these two stores, and I usually get something either for those stores or for something close by. So I was waiting for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and I got this Uber order, which I wasn't going to take, but it was such an easy order. I'm like, I should just knock this out because it was 5 items. Like the shopping literally took me 10 minutes. So I got that one really quick. When I was almost at the store, I got this Instacart order, which this is an amazing order. I was so excited, and it was, again, while I was just driving around. Sometimes the algorithm is really confusing because for me, it's like split 50-50, whether I get really good orders while I'm at the store or when I'm just driving around. It doesn't seem to like skew one way or the other. But I freaked out when I got this because this is an amazing order, and I almost canceled the Uber. But I was bold and I decided to keep it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this done fast enough and I'll get back to the store for the Instacart order in time. And I pushed it very close, actually down to like the minute, which I've done several times, which I should probably stop doing that because one of these times I am gonna miss it by like a minute. The way I was able to pull it off even at all was I actually had to shop it at a different location, which is okay for, this was Sprouts, and that store, I know the couple stores around me pretty well, and they all pretty much have the same inventory, so it's really not an issue. Like I didn't find any out of stock issues even though I was at a a different location. And it is a little unfortunate because the location that it was set for is actually the one that I know the best. So I would have been faster at that one. But at this point, I'm taking obviously a little bit of a slower shopping speed over getting my order canceled. So I shopped it at a different location. It was still really close by, and I was able to take the freeway for most of the miles to get to the deliveries. So still ended up working out great. I started shopping at 11:20 at that store, and I'm on the way to the first drop-off. First drop-off is 12:23, and then there's 2 more after that that are pretty close by. So I'm probably guessing our 20 minutes for this order. So this is an awesome order. It did have heavy pay, and it had 4 cases of sparkling water and 1 gallon of water, which is really not bad at all. Because heavy pay can really vary. You can get orders, if you're an Instacart or a DoorDash shopper, you know this, you can get orders with heavy pay that are like several cases of water. The other day I had one with a 40-pound bag of water softener pellets. Those are a lot harder. This one was pretty easy. The cart was pretty much full, but it still wasn't anything crazy. We will see how the drop-offs go. I'm not sure if they're apartments. I don't think they are. I probably should have checked. But even if they are, it's nothing I can't handle in one trip if I use my backpack that I have. I will check in after I complete the last deliveries, and we'll see how long this order took me. So I dropped that one off at 12:39, and I started it at 11:20. So pretty much an hour, 20 minutes, which was amazing time. I mean, even if that order took longer, it would have been a great deal because it was an awesome one. And now it is 12:52. And I just made it to the nearest hotspot, and then we're just gonna wait here for an order. And while I'm here, I'm gonna eat my lunch so that I don't run into a situation like yesterday where I'm like starving. So have things happened. So I got this Uber order, and I headed over to Fry's because it's a really quick order. It's only a couple items. This Fry's is pretty big, and it's always really busy, but I decided to take it. And I was circling the parking lot a few times. There was no parking spots. None of the grocery stores by me except this one tend to have an issue with parking on the weekend especially. But what ended up happening was me and this one lady turned the corner pretty much at the same time. She was at the one end of the aisle and I was at the other end, and this person started pulling out. So I obviously go up to take the spot. I've already circled the parking lot like 3 times. And it was a spot pretty close to the front. And this lady, as she was rounding the corner, I never saw her put her blinker on. So I was like, oh, she must not be looking to park. Well, I was wrong about that, because we both go to take the spot from, opposite sides. And she comes probably within like 1 inch of hitting my car, and then continues to honk over and over again. And I didn't move. And she honked over and over, then started rolling her window down and screamed at me out the window over like multiple times. And I just wasn't moving. And she stood there and kept honking and screaming until I moved so that she could take the spot. So like right now we're at like a standoff. We both went to take the spot, right, from opposite sides. And she just kept screaming and honking until I moved. So that was definitely the most dramatic and over-the-top parking fight situation I've ever gotten into. I was, of course, fuming inside because she was crazy. Once I realized that, I'm just like, I've just stood there and I didn't move. And I'm like, well, I mean, obviously she's gonna make me move. So I don't think I've ever lost a parking standoff before, but I also don't behave like that. So once I saw her getting to that level, I'm like, okay, we're just not even gonna engage with this. And at this point, I just stood there and I didn't, I was parked, I wasn't moving, and I wasn't yelling or rolling my window down or doing crazy things with my hands. So yeah, I just decided, I'm like, we're just not gonna engage with this. And I actually, as I was pulling out of that parking situation to go try to find another spot, I got this Instacart order, and this lady just made me so beyond mad, and I couldn't find parking anyway, that I just canceled that Uber and just went to do the Instacart. Also because earlier I cut it close literally down to the minute of where I was almost late for that $73 Instacart. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna push this one. I still would have made it in time, but I would have had to rush. I would have had to be worried about it. And I'm like, let's just not, this lady was already too much for me right now. my cancellation rate is really low on Uber. Like, let's just go straight to the Instacart, get that over with quicker, so then hopefully I can get another good batch on Instacart. So that's what I decided to do. I cut my losses on the $19 order and that whole parking fiasco. So I got this order at 127 and I'm on the way to the second drop off now. And my ETA is 2:45 and then I have one more drop off after that. So making pretty good time on this 50. And I'm kind of glad I didn't do that Uber and I just got this one done faster because I want to be able to see a big batch on Instacart quicker. So I'd rather just get this done as soon as possible. And we'll see what time I can check out and be done with this one. The last order did end up taking me, I believe, an hour and 20 minutes. So I think this one will end up taking me about hour 20, 25 also. And I don't think it'll be a long wait either because this is like pretty much the busiest time is Sunday. Now it's becoming like the middle to late afternoon. Or I guess like mid-afternoon. And this is usually when so many people are ordering. So I'm hoping that I can get a good order right after dropping this one. So I dropped that one off at 2:52, and unfortunately I am only 1.34 miles away from the Fry's where I had the parking incident at. And it's also listed as a hotspot. And oh, there's like so many available batches. Oh, 94 units. So right when I dropped off that one, literally 12 available batches popped up. It's super busy right now. And there's a 53 right now for 64 items and 94 units. It just went up $1 to $54.77, but I'm not going to take that. I'll see if it goes high enough. I think someone's probably going to take it, but for me, $54.77 is what it's at now. That's not enough for 64 items and 94 units. It'll just take too long. So I'm still going to wait for something better, or we'll see if it goes up high enough to take. Really, right after I stopped recording that clip, someone did take it for $54.77, but for 90 plus units, to me, that's just too much, like too much units and not enough pay. There wasn't heavy pay though. So that means there was nothing crazy on it, but still, I think there's like 17 hidden batches right now. I still think I can get one better. And yeah, I'm at the Fry's, the extremely busy one where the parking is a disaster. But I always just drive to the closest hotspot and sit there. I think it's probably a waste for me to go drive further away, because there's several hotspots right now. So I'll sit here and hopefully I'll get one. And if not, I will move to a different hotspot if I'm waiting too long. But there's so many batches coming in, I should be able to snag a good one soon. Hard to record myself while I'm waiting for a batch because I have to keep looking over at my phone. Because if you know Instacart, you know that if you look away for a second, then you can miss a really good batch. So that's why I have to keep looking over at my phone. So it's funny, I was just saying about that $54 order, how I was about to take it, but then I passed on it. There was still a bunch of orders coming in, but I did actually take this one, which is a very similar order to the one I passed on. It's 90 something units, but this one is 66. And I feel like I couldn't pass this one because I don't want to sit for too long. And also this store is not really close to where I am now, but I decided to take it because I'm right by the freeway. And even though the store is like 7 miles away, it's like a 10-minute drive. So honestly, the stores that are like around my area now, a lot of them, it would take me 7 to 10 minutes to get there anyway, even though it would be like 3 to 4 mile drive because it's, you know, city driving and not on the freeway. So I'm just going to go up there. It's a really short distance delivery around that store, and that store is always marked as busy. So I'm just going to do those deliveries and then go back and sit at that store and see if I can get something from there again. And the funny thing about this order is I actually saw it come up as 65, and I go to click it and I go to click accept, and I'm like, oh crap, but it's for the Fry's that's, you know, 10. I thought it was honestly longer, like further away, but I also remembered there's no traffic right now. And then it went away, and I was looking at the order, I was looking at the items, and I'm like, yeah, this is easy, like it's 90 units, but the worst thing on there is like a few bottles of wine. There's no heavy pay, there's no water bottles or like gallons of milk. And I'm like, should I do it? And I was like, oh, because it disappeared. I'm like, someone took it, and it came back. It came back as $1 more pay, came back as a 66 something. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it. And actually in the meantime, when the order disappeared and I was waiting for another one, just for like my curiosity, I looked up how far of a drive that Fry's was for me. And I'm like, oh, it's only a 10-minute drive. Like I should have just taken it. And then it came back. So yeah, I didn't want to wait any longer. It is busy right now. But yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna go back and sit at that Fry's after I'm done with the deliveries, because they're a really short distance, and then maybe I'll just stay over in that area. I don't go over to this area very often. It's kind of by Scottsdale. I've only worked over there a few times, and honestly, I haven't done any better than I do where I tend to not go over there, but I'm just gonna do this one. I can't believe it came back. I thought for sure someone took it, right? Because it was a $65 order, and it was only 3 or 4 miles, maybe, the delivery once you're at the store. So the fact that it came back, I was like, okay, obviously I was supposed to take this one. So let's see how fast I can get it done. I was a 10-minute drive from the store. I'm still driving there now. But like I said, even when I stay in my area, oftentimes I still have to drive about 10 minutes to stores anyway. So freeway miles, super easy. It's Sunday, there's no traffic. Yeah, let's see how fast I can get this one done, and then if I stay over in that zone, or see if I just head back to where I usually work. So unfortunately, this order is taking way too long to do. Hindsight, I probably should have let it go, but at least I barely spent any time waiting. So I got the order at 3:15, and I am set to arrive at the third customer at 5:03. And probably be done by 5:05. It's a house, so it should be just a quick drop off. But yeah, close to 2 hours for this one, so doesn't boil down to a good hourly rate. But you do have to think about that I barely had to wait for this order after I finished my last one. I think I waited 10 minutes. So if you wait around, obviously, for 30, 40 minutes, an hour, that's going to kill your hourly rating faster than probably just getting to an order. So we'll see what my hourly comes out to at the end of the day. It depends on how the rest of the shift goes and how much more waiting I have to do. But I still think that this order is going to end up being worth it, because I don't know, it sounds silly, but it went away. I thought about it. I thought it got taken, and then it came back at $1 higher since they boosted it and no one took it. If it came back to me, I'm just feeling like I was supposed to take it. So we'll see what the rest of the shift looks like. But yeah, right now I'm set to arrive at 5:03 to the last order, and we'll see where the hotspots are, but I'm probably not going to waste my time driving to a far away hotspot. Since I am in a completely different area than I normally work, I'm most likely going back to the same Fry's I was at, but I'm just probably going to go to the nearest place there's going to be orders and just wait there. Literally the most ideal situation just happened right now. I'm so excited. So first of all, I only waited 12 minutes. The sun is completely ruining how this looks right now, but just ignore that. I only waited 12 minutes. I got this order, and I hesitated for a second because of the miles, obviously. I looked through the order because it had heavy pay, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I don't want to wait. I hit accept, and it's like, this batch is no longer available. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll wait for a new one. But I probably should have just taken that. And then it comes back, and they repackaged it. And now it's just a single shop with the closer delivery, because that was all of the tip. And it's one shop and deliver for $62, and I got it. And so the other one, it was literally a $3 difference in total pay to do how they first batched it with the close order, and then the one order going really far away that was a couple units. And then they took it out of that bundle and then just made it its own standalone shop and deliver, which they should have done from the start. But oh my God, was that so meant to be. I'm like, I just saved myself driving that far for a single order. I know anyone who does Instacart knows the pain of this and how annoying it is that they package big tipping orders with really small low tipping orders, because no one would ever take those. So they just tag it on to a good order. And I'm so beyond excited right now that I got this as a single shop. Oh my God, single shops are so much easier and faster. Even if there's more units, they're just so much quicker to get done. And this one is, I have to look, 32 items, 74 units, but I think 15 of those units are limes. It has a bunch of alcohol. It has tequila and seltzers and stuff. And I'm pretty sure there's 15 limes. So only having to shop for 32 units, this is probably one of the best orders I've had. Only con is that it's at a store that I don't really go to, because like I said before, I'm in an area that I don't really frequent. So it is going to take me a little bit longer, but we'll see how fast I can get this done. And only waiting 12 minutes, this is gold. So I just left the store. It was a pretty big order, even though it was only 30 something units, but it did have heavy pay, so I knew there was going to be a lot. There was a 24 pack of beer, a couple of cases of sparkling water. There was some alcohol bottles and like seltzers. So it was heavy stuff, but nothing too bad. And with the arrival time, I'm quoted to get there at 6:08. This is going to take less than an hour. I think like 48 or 49 minutes is how long it's going to take. That's really going to help bump up my hourly average for the day, because that last order I had really took my average down because it took me too long, and this one's bringing it back up. So that's why, as long as it evens out in the end, then it's still worth it. And even like on a broader scale, not just day by day, but even looking at like every week or every month, what your pay is by the hour, as long as it averages out, the good orders make up for the bad orders. So that's kind of just a perfect example of what's happening with this one, where I was kind of disappointed how long it took me to do that $66 one. But then this one right after it, I only waited 12 minutes, and this one is going to bring the average right back up. So I'm really excited to see what my average is at the end of the day. So I waited at a hotspot nearby to my last order for probably like 5 to 10 minutes, and I wasn't getting anything, and I decided I should probably at least head down the freeway and at least go closer to where I normally work, because also this area is busier later than like the borderline Scottsdale area is, and I also didn't want to get even further away from home. So I was just driving down the freeway. I was about to get off at an exit, and I got this order. And no, it's not a crazy high dollar amount, but this is gonna be so fast to do because it's such low units. I could not pass this up. So this will take an hour or less. It's one order, and then the other two orders have like 2 items each. So you know that those are not tipping much, or if any at all. But still, it's a great bundle. And because it's only 22 units, I just could not pass it up for the $40. So I'm going to take this one. It is driving kind of more into the city. So after that, we'll see what happens. But that does put me in a good spot for it to be busier, at least on a Sunday night. It's usually busier in that area because there's more younger people and students instead of like families. So I'm going to do this order. It will take an hour or less. We'll see how fast I can get it done. No heavy items either, so cannot pass up an order that is this small for that pay. And I forgot that it's the crazy lady fries from earlier. So now it's later, and there's a lot of people doing grocery shopping at this time. So hoping when I get into the parking lot, there isn't some huge disaster and there actually is parking available. I'm not worried about it at this time because it's later on a Sunday. So I'm on the last delivery now of the triple stack, and I'm quoted to get there at 7:35. So that'll be 58 minutes that this order took from the moment I received it. And it is an apartment, so it's gonna take me at least 2 minutes to actually like complete the delivery. So I'm just gonna call it an hour. And yeah, I'm super happy with that. Of course, for only 20 units, I was hoping I could get it done a little quicker. $43 was the upfront promised amount. And the interesting thing is, on this last delivery, it's an apartment that I've been to many times, and he put in the delivery instructions his unit and the code and said, if you come to my door, I'll give you a good tip. So I'm like, maybe this could get raised after the fact. We'll find out, because obviously I'm going to bring it to his door and drop it off there so he doesn't have to come down. That this order could go up because he might raise the tip after the delivery, since I'm going to leave it at his door. So we'll find out. But he only ordered 2 items, so I don't know how much he tipped or if he tipped at all prior to delivery. Not that I would even expect that much anyway, because it's a 2-item order, but we'll just find out what happens after the fact. I dropped that one off, and I started just heading kind of out of the city area. And then as I was driving, I'm right by this store. I hadn't stopped there yet. I got this order for Safeway, and a few orders came in at once, and I honestly should have scrolled to the bottom to like double check, but it's a very slim chance there was anything better than this. I still like to do that, but then of course you still like risk not getting the one at the top of the list when a bunch of orders come in at once. This one, especially because it's later, I'm like, I'm not going to pass this one up. Again, it's not a huge dollar amount, but it's a single order. And this is the store I'm the fastest at because I know it the best. So I will get this done, I'm thinking, in 45 minutes. That's my goal. If I really was like crazy rushing around the store, I think I could do it in half an hour, just because I'm literally right by the store when I got the order. And it's a short delivery, but 45 minutes max, I think I can get this one done. 28 items, even though it's 40 units. So I couldn't pass up taking this one because it is a lot more unusual to get those bigger, higher dollar batches later at night. So I'm considering this a win. So I was pretty spot on with my estimate. I'm scheduled to arrive at 8:29 and I got the order at 7:46. So a 45-minute delivery. There was a bunch of candy on the order, and I don't know why it was taking me forever to find it. Later in the day, like after I've had a full shift, it's just inevitable that I'm going to be slower at shopping, and I don't really know if there's much I can do about that. So 45 minutes, and it was $36.37 up front. So I'm super happy with that. It was kind of hard. The only thing that is really challenging about doing grocery orders on Sunday nights is, as you can probably imagine, stock issues. So it can take longer to do substitutes if the customer doesn't add them in the app. And even in this case, on one of the items, the chicken, even the substitute that she put in was sold out, or the options available were almost expired, and they marked them down. And I'm not going to give that to a customer because I have no idea when they want to make it. I had to get something similar, which usually it's not a problem, but it does become really difficult on Sunday nights when customers don't respond, and if a bunch of things are out of stock, and then sometimes you're like not sure exactly what you should buy, and sometimes you don't know if you should refund or if it's better to replace it, and then it's like, what if they didn't want that? And of course, going back and forth with customers does take time too over the chat. So I was not super fast at that one, but I'm super happy with a 45-minute time for the pay. And I'm going to try to get one more after this. It is about 8:30. I would love to do one more, but if I'm waiting and waiting, I'm just going to log off and go home because it is pretty late. But I'm holding out that because it's Sunday, there are a lot of people that still wait to the last minute, and Fry's is open till 10 or 11 and Safeway is open till 10. So I definitely have time to at least get one more. And I'm hoping I can get even just another small one like this, like a 25 to 35 or even a 40, just like single order. That would be ideal right now. So I am home now. I just decided to log off. So I did finish up at 8:30. I went to Sprouts because it was nearby to where the last delivery dropped off. And I did some of my own shopping. And I figured I'd wait for an order while I was doing that. But then after I didn't get one, I just logged off. So I got to get my daily total and then calculate my hourly for today. It was definitely really good. It wasn't a record day, but it was pretty close to what my record is. So at least for like total in one day. So we'll see what my hourly was, because I think it worked out to be probably one of my best hourly shifts. But this was my first full weekend being a Diamond Instacart shopper. And I will post a synopsis after this of Saturday and Sunday and what my full weekend looked like as the first weekend being a Diamond shopper. And hopefully it will just keep getting better from here. So today I made $356.65, which I love to see for a daily total. I think my record right now is around $375. I did work a pretty long time, 9.75 hours for $36.57 per hour. So for hourly, that is good, not great. But what I'm really excited for is the weekend total. So my total for the weekend, just Saturday and Sunday, was $576.90, which I'm super happy with. I was aiming to make at least $550 and maybe $600. So I was spot on for my goal. And on Saturday, I did stop working at 5:30 p.m. And if I would have continued till 9, I would have easily hit way more than this. So $500 in a weekend is easy, and much more is possible if you're willing to work late and work early. For me, the harder part is working early. I never really start that early in the morning. So yeah, this is really great side work. If you're not an Instacart shopper, I would recommend trying it out. Get on the wait list and just see how long it takes to get off of it, and just hit the ground running when you can. And because I am a new Diamond shopper, I am excited to see how things go in the future, because I should be getting bigger batches, so there should be even better things to see in the future. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to start actually trying to do Costco orders too, which right now I don't do. So definitely subscribe and follow along with me trying to do Costco orders. And if you like hearing financial tips and advice as well, I also talk about that on this channel. So you should definitely stick around, and I will see you in the next video.